A chemical equation is an equality between reactants and products. Let's label this chemical equation. So the ones on the left are what we refer to as reactants. The arrow is a yields, which is kind of like an equal sign, and on the right-hand side, those are products. So those are the main components of a chemical equation. You have reactants, which react to produce products. Some other words you should know is the number in front, which we're going to be adding numbers to the front when we balance in our next class, is called a coefficient. Coefficients apply to everything behind it. So this would mean that I have two NAs. Subscripts are the little numbers at the bottom, which we applied when we wrote formulas. So that means I have two Cl. And then this little S is a state symbol, which will be seen on the next slide. So that state symbol was an S, and so that means it's a solid. L stands for liquid, and that's going to be true liquids, as in something was melted and it's in its liquid form. G is gas, and then AQ means aqueous, which means that it's dissolved in water. If something's a precipitate, and then that's going to be a solid. We said a precipitate forms at the beginning of the year when two aqueous solutions are mixed and a solid forms. That solid is referred to as a precipitate. So here are some reactions that we need to write equations for. These equations are referred to as skeleton equations because they're not balanced, meaning I may not necessarily have equal amounts of each element on both sides. So the first one is I have aluminum metal. Aluminum is Al, so always check if it's by itself, if it's one of the seven. This is not one of the seven diatomic elements, in which case it's just by itself. Metal means that its state symbol is a solid. Reacts with is a plus sign. And then hydrobromic acid. Well, hydro and it came from IDE, so that is bromine. Bromine's a -1 charge, so I need one hydrogen in front. My acids are going to be aqueous unless it says otherwise. To produce aluminum bromide, when you are writing your formulas, do not forget all of the formula writing that we spent time doing. So aluminum is a +3, bromide's a -1, so they go together, AlBr3. And it's aqueous, so AQ. Plus, and then hydrogen gas is just hydrogen, but hydrogen's one of the seven, so we're going to put a 2 after it, and it's a gas, it says. Make sure that your equation doesn't have any charges on it. So that would be my final answer. Again, these are what we refer to as skeleton equations because they're not balanced. And again, we'll be discussing what balancing is next class. All right, let's look at one more together. So solid calcium carbonate. So calcium is a +2 and carbonate is CO3 with a -2 charge. So those go together 1 to 1 and it's solid, so that's an S. It decomposes upon heating to yield. So I know that I'm done with my reactants because I just started with calcium carbonate. Carbon dioxide, I don't need charges for that one because I see prefixes. So 1 carbon, 2 oxygen, and that's a gas, plus solid calcium oxide. Calcium's a +2, oxygen's a -2. So just CaO, and that's a solid. So again, we're just writing our equations from words. So there's really nothing new except we're putting plus signs and an arrow somewhere in the words. Go ahead and pause the video and do number 3 on your own. Restart when you're done. So copper could be by itself, and it was a solid. It's heated and reacts with oxygen. So if it's reacting with it, it's got to be on the same side. Oxygen is diatomic, and that's a gas, to produce solid copper. Remember that is standing for the charge of copper. Oxygen's a -2, so just CuO. So that's what you should have gotten when you wrote the equation. Finally, go ahead and pause and solve number 4. Restart when you're done. Sulfurious acid, OUS, came from ITE. Sulfite is SO3 with a -2 charge, so we needed 2 hydrogens in front. And it's a solution. Solutions are going to be AQ. Is mixed with a solution of barium, which is a +2, and hydroxide's a -1. On this one, make sure that you've put parentheses around that OH. It was a solution, so it's also AQ. To produce water, water is H2O. And if it says water, we're going to go with the liquid unless it says water vapor or ice. And then barium was a +2, sulfite was a -2, so BaSO3. And it says precipitate, so that's a solid.